Welcome back to Legalese 123, where we are covering cases across America. Hello and welcome back to Legalese 123. I'm your host, Missy K. Well, where did we last left off? Well, Mr. Mutlu, Jem, just finished his testimony stating that on the 29th of December, he had called to congratulate Anna and state that he was happy for her that she sold a property, and what was she going to do with the proceeds of that? Apparently, she was going to roll that over and she was going to go and get more real estate. But there was problems going on between her and Brian. She was upset about having to commute back and forth from Massachusetts to DC, where her job was. She was also missing the children. Perhaps maybe the pending federal charges against her husband were on her mind. But she had expressed these things to Mr. Mutlu. But he couldn't quite tell us exactly what he remembered and what he didn't remember. So the prosecution didn't get in everything that they wanted. But one thing we did learn that there was a ring that Mr. Walsh bought for her that was $100,000 or more. So, wow, where did he get the money for that? Because I believe that they were having some financial issues. Who knows? So we are continuing with testimony for day 8. Let's see who we have coming up next.
Testimony. Pause now and hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
You can just follow me, please. Just take your time. Just watch your step.
Okay, we are at witness number.
You may proceed. Your Honor, could you please state your name for the record?
Good afternoon, Marlene Ramdahal.
And can you please spell your name for the record?
Yes, Marlene, Marlenny. Last name Ramdehal.
And what is your occupation, ma'am?
I am a senior U.S. probation officer.
And what is your jurisdiction?
The District of Massachusetts.
Where is your office located?
In time.
And how long have you been a federal probation officer?
Approximately 12 years.
Are you familiar with Brian Walsh?
I am.
And how long have you known Mr. Walsh?
Since November of 2021.
And that's when you first met him?
Yes.
And how often did you see him?
Approximately once every 60 days.
And how did you see him?
At his residence or at my office.
And can you please identify him for the record?
Mr. Walsh is in the black sweater.
Thank you. Your Honor, might the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant?
The record will so reflect.
In January of 2023 and December of 2022, was Mr. Walsh, the defendant, subject to conditions set by a federal district court?
He was.
And what were those conditions?
He was subject to a number of conditions, to include home confinement, which limited his movement in the community.
When was the defendant authorized to leave his home?
He was authorized to leave his residence with a pre-scheduled pass, so he would have to ask permission before leaving his home.
Did he have set windows that he was allowed to leave?
He did.
And what was he required to do before leaving his home?
Prior to leaving his residence, he would have to have an approved schedule.
And who would approve that schedule?
I would.
Oh, sorry. We went to skippity-doo.a. Ooh, hurry.
Leave the state.
He did not have permission.
Okay.
Allowed to leave.
He did.
And what was he required to do before leaving his home?
Prior to leaving his residence, he would have to have an approved schedule.
And who would approve that schedule?
I would.
Where was he allowed to go?
A client on the home confinement program is only allowed to leave the residence for essential necessities. So things such as employment, education, religion, treatment, attorney visits, court-appointed activities. He was also allowed to do things such as grocery shop, banking, grooming, things of that nature. He also had permission to do things with his children and his mother.
So what did he need to do as far as specifying where he would go?
So on Thursdays, he was to submit schedules to me with what essential necessities would be required for the following week.
And
Ooh. Did he set a schedule? Did he not set a schedule? Was he allowed to be out when he was out doing his dastardly nefarious deeds? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Let's see if we can find out.
and how would he do that?
He would send me an email.
And what email did he use?
brw@tensaleconsulting.com.
What permission did he have to leave the state?
He did not have permission to leave the state.
You said that he was allowed to go for necessities. Is a restaurant considered a necessity?
No, it is not.
What did he have to do if he wanted to deviate from the schedule that he had submitted on Thursdays, I believe you said?
Correct. Yeah, if there was a change to the schedule, he would be required to submit a new schedule request.
And how would he do that?
Again, via schedule. Yeah, if there was a change to the schedule, he would be required to submit a new schedule request.
And how would he do that?
Again, via email.
And who would he do that to?
Myself.
What was his schedule January 1st through January 5th? Question mark.
So I want to ask you about Friday, January 6th of 2023. Did you see the defendant that day in person?
I did.
Oh,
And what contact did you receive from him requesting permission for his window for the following week?
On January 6th, Mr. Walsh submitted a schedule for Wednesday, the 11th. He requested a haircut appointment from 1:30 to 3:15. He also requested a pass for the 12th to meet with his probate attorney from 10:30 to 3:15.
What contact did you have from the defendant on January 5th of 2023?
On January 5th, Mr. Walsh contacted me to inform me of law enforcement contact, which is required by his conditions of release. He also notified me that his wife Anna was missing.
What was his window of release on Thursday, January 5th?
On January 5th, he had a reoccurring schedule to drop off his children between 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. He then had a pass to assist his mother with some errands from 10:15 to 1:30. And then he had a reoccurring schedule to pick up his children from 3:45 to 6:15.
And the morning schedule and the afternoon schedule, was that a set recurring schedule?
Correct, Monday through Friday.
And was the middle, the time that he was with his mother, was that also a recurring time, or was that something he had just requested?
He had just requested it the week prior.
And what was the window of release for Wednesday, January 4th?
The 4th would have been drop off children from 8 to 10:30. Then he had a reoccurring groceries schedule from 11 to 1:30, and again, pickup of the children from 3:15 to 6:45.
So that was all prearranged.
she's going so fast. Okay. 3:45 to 6:15. Okay, guess what? Guess what? I got my handy dandy time sheet up here. Let's go and look and see Mr. Naughty Pants. Where was he? Okay, so the 4th. The 4th. That's the 3rd. Oh. Well, we do know on the 4th, he went to Lowe's Weymouth with his son at 4:24, so that is within the window. Let's see about the 5th. Oh, I don't have anything for the 5th or the 4th. Huh. Okay. Well, we need to go backwards because he did a lot of naughty things on the 1st and the 2nd. All right. Let's see if we get to it.
Correct, yes.
And what was the window of release on Tuesday, January 3rd?
We're moving
Tuesday,
backwards.
drop off children, 8 to 10:30, pick up children, 3:15 to 6:45, and he had a reoccurring schedule as well to get his trash out, and that was from 7:50 to 8:20, I believe,
In the evening?
in the evening, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Oh, she's going so fast. Okay. Let's look at the 2nd. Do, 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 do. All right. Oh. I don't have very much for that day. Okay, let's continue. So I don't have him really going out doing too much on the 2nd, but then again, I don't have everything in. I don't have everything in here. But all right, let's go on. He did most of the stuff on the 1st.
And why did he need that for the trash?
Oh, this is the 3rd.
Because it wasn't on his property.
Okay.
No, I don't have
And
much
what
on
was the
3rd.
window of release for Monday, January 2nd of 2023?
On Monday, the 2nd, he only had pickup and drop off of the children, so 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., and then pick up from 3:15 to 6:45.
Okay, so drop off and then pick up kids. Okay, so let's look at the 2nd really quickly because we can. Okay, so I don't have much for the 2nd. Let's talk about the 1st.
But did you receive some information about an unauthorized leave for that day?
I did.
And when was that?
Approximately 3:53 p.m.
And did you speak to him?
I did.
And what contact did you have with him?
I reached out to him to ask him about the unauthorized leave, and he indicated that he was picking up his children per usual.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
on pickup time.
in fact, the 3:15 to 6:45, was that authorized for Monday, January 2nd, 2023 being a holiday?
It was because there was no notification that school was not in session.
Does he have to give
And what was
notification?
the
to
window
school?
of release on Sunday, January 1st of 2023?
On the 1st, he had submitted a request to return his mother home from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And what do you mean return his mother home?
He indicated that his mother was staying with him post-surgery and he was taking her back to her residence.
And when was that window established?
That would have been the week prior, so I want to say December 22nd.
And
Okay, hang on. Okay, so that is when he was doing all of his naughty stuff. And I have a note. I have a note somewhere. I had a note somewhere that I wrote and I said, is he allowed to leave by during a certain time? Because I think he said, I'm only allowed to leave. Right. So on the 3rd, so in Brian Walsh's mumblings to the police, it was quite hard to ascertain what he was saying. But I wrote here, question mark, he can only leave the house from 3 to 9 p.m., which is the exact same time that he says on the 1st. Oh, look at that. I have my notes down. What he probably meant was maybe the 1st, because he had a whole bunch of ramblings here and there, and I couldn't Quiet Place things. So that's what he meant. He is only authorized on the 1st to leave between 3 and 9 p.m. Let's see. When does he leave? Well, he goes to Lowe's at 7:48. Oh no, that's probably okay. So he goes to Walgreens at 3:40. So he did. He was gone between his allotted 3 to 9. He goes to Walgreens at 3:40, the liquor store around 5 p.m., Lowe's at 5:30, CVS at 6:20, and the Stop and Shop at 7 o'clock. Didn't go to his mom's house. But we'll see what she has to say. Okay.
And where did he indicate that he would be returning his mother?
To her residence.
And where was that, if you know?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. And at that point, did he ask permission to go to a restaurant
He did not.
for January 1st of 2023?
He did not.
And was the defendant allowed to go places if he had not cleared it with you first?
He was not allowed to do any unapproved stops.
I might have one moment.
You may.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-exam.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So point. This is a good point. Okay, so he had requested to have the evening from 3 to 9 off on January 1st to quote unquote take mom back home because she was recovering from surgery. But instead, he was planning to take Anna out for dinner. But what he did instead was that when he started to do his dastardly deeds. So, you tell me.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So did I hear you right that said Mr. Walsh asked to be able to go 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Sunday, January 1st? He asked that the prior week of December 22nd.
That is correct.
And there were, to go out to a restaurant, that would have been correct?
It would need court approval. Probation does not have the authority to approve non-essential necessities.
So you'd have to go through a court process. That'd take quite a while to go through the federal court process.
It's a motion to the court, so it's just a documentation that needs to be submitted.
But it has to be filed, it has to be decided, it has to be returned.
That is correct.
So, and there's always the chance that it wouldn't be allowed.
Correct.
So if somebody like Mr. Walsh wanted to take his wife out to a restaurant for New Year's Day, there's a chance that he wouldn't be permitted and get permission to take his wife to a New Year's Day dinner, even if he had filed a request.
There is that chance, correct.
Thank you very much.
Any redirect?
No redirects, thank you.
The witness may step down.
Thank you.
Okay, that was witness 43, the probation officer. We have questions. Hopefully, we'll put it in the timeline. All right, now we
May
are
call
on
next witness.
witness
Call Anthony McCrena.
44. Anthony somebody.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you should give in the cause now and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Take your time, just watch your step. Slide this chair right there a little more. Let's see. You pull the chair a little closer. Do me a favor, just keep your voice up. when you speak,
Sure.
okay?
Yep.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the record? Sure. It's Tony Macrina, M-A-C-R-I-N-A. Where do you work, sir? Home Depot. And what do you do for Home Depot? I am a district asset protection manager. And what are your responsibilities as a district asset protection manager? I help increase profitability by mitigating losses and creating a safe work environment for the associates and customers.
How long have you been with Home Depot?
Currently 4.5 years.
And how, in that time, you've always been a district asset protection manager?
Yes.
And what is your district?
It's considered southeastern Mass. So it's approximately 10 stores in that area.
All right. Does that include Rockland?
Yes.
Sir, have you had the opportunity to help produce a receipt and videos to law enforcement in January 2023 concerning in this matter?
Yes,
And have you had the opportunity to review both of those prior to today?
I did.
Sir, as far as the videos that are maintained at Home Depot, are they done in the normal course of business?
Yes, they are.
Are they done in good faith?
Yes,
And the videos, I take it they're recorded digitally?
correct.
So when they're recorded as it's happening to a server, correct?
Yes.
What access do you have to the server?
I remote in, but using a laptop or a computer.
Okay. Can anyone have access to it?
Just anybody who works within the asset protection department.
And sir, the videos that you had a chance to review, did you look at a thumb drive and then sign the back of it?
Yes.
You may.
Sure, I'm showing you a thumb drive. Do you see it?
Yes,
And do you see your initials in the back?
I do.
Were these the videos you had a chance to review prior to today to confirm that they were the videos you had turned over from the store depot on January 2nd in Rockland?
Yes, they were.
Commonwealth, so you can have the thumb drive or
Any objection to that?
no objection.
The Home Depot thumb drive, now in evidence is 260.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the Commonwealth publish some of the videos from the Home Depot thumb drive?
Yes?
Ms. Gilman, could we have the video Home Depot entering? If we could press pause. Mr. McCrenna, can you see the video on the screen?
Yes.
Where is this in the Home Depot?
This is a shot of the doorway where most customers after purchasing would walk out. So the main exit, we call this.
The main exit. Now, at the bottom of the screen, there's a date and time. Are the dates and times accurate on the Home Depot videos?
Yes, they are.
And to be clear, this is Rockland, right?
Correct.
Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. If you close out that. And Ms. Gilman, could we have pro exit purchasing? And Ms. Gilman, if you could go to 107 on this. Thank you. Sir, where is this location in Home Depot in Rockland?
This is on one side of the store. We call it the pro exit. So generally, this is where the lumber is purchased, and it's usually a bigger space so that you can get those bigger carts through the doorway.
Ms. Gilman, if you could press play.
Oh, boy, what
Thank
did
you, Ms.
you
Gilman.
purchase? What's in that big
Your Honor, may I
box?
approach?
You may.
Oh, it's on the 2nd at 4:15 PM.
Mr. McCrenna, I'm showing you a document. Do you recognize that?
Yes,
Is that the receipt that corresponds to the video we just saw?
yes.
How are you able to find a receipt to corresponds to the video?
I was given an item number from the state police,
And so then you look up the item number?
looked up the item number, and it brings me right to this transaction. The two are tied together.
And so the receipts are kept in the normal course of business?
Yes,
In good faith?
yes,
You turn this over to the police in January 2023.
yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to have the receipt from Home Depot for January 2nd as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
Objection.
Receipt that corresponds to 260 is now in evidence as 261.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish 261.
You may.
Thank you. Looking at the top of it, sir, what is the address of the store?
1149 Hingham Street, Rockland, Massachusetts.
And what is the significance of Register 3?
Register 3 is the register number that was shown in the video where those purchases were made.
And Ms. Gilman, could we scroll down to the bottom? Actually, stay right there, Ms. Gilman. Sir, on A&H baking soda, what is that?
That is a 12-pound bag of baking soda. It was the one that was on the bottom of the cart.
Home Depot sells 12 pounds of baking soda?
Yes.
And then what is the date and the time of the transaction?
The date is 1/2 of 2023 at 5:01 and 47 seconds PM.
What was the amount for the transaction?
The amount was $453.54.
And was it cash or charge?
Cash.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Wanted to see what else you had there.
Any cross? The witness may step down.
Thank you.
Okay, that was witness number 44. 44. 44. Oh, where's my... Oh, that's my blue marker. All right, it doesn't matter. Home Depot 44.
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Thank you. Commonwealth would call Callie Roy, Paleo Logos.
Well, that's a big name. Okay, we're at witness 45. Oh, boy.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in the cause now and hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You can be seated.
Take your time, just watch your step, okay?
Gonna see if I drop my blue pen. Oh, where's that?
Thank you, sir.
Here it is.
Just do me a favor, just keep your voice up.
Blue.
Thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Could you bring that microphone a little bit closer to you? It will help keep things loud.
That better?
Much better. Could you state your name and spell your first and last name for us?
Kaliroy Paleologos, Kaliroi, last name Paliologos.
Where do you work, ma'am?
I work at Beacon Communities, more specifically Chatham West and the Pines.
And what is Chatham West?
It's a housing residential apartment complex,
Where is Chatham West located?
Brockton, Massachusetts.
And what do you do there?
I'm a property manager.
And as the property manager, do you have access to their surveillance videos?
Yes, sir, I do.
And as far as the surveillance videos, how many cameras do they have on the exterior of their building?
Approximately 25 back in 23.
In January of 2023, how many units were at Chatham West?
507.
507.
Mhm.
So it's a really large
Yes, sir.
complex. What does Chatham West have for dumpsters in January 2023?
About 21 dumpsters.
And what access does the general public have to the dumpsters in January 2023?
They're open to the public.
Okay. Now, In January 2023, did you have the opportunity to produce surveillance videos to law enforcement?
Yes, I did.
And have you had the opportunity to review them prior to today?
Yes.
Have they been edited in any fashion?
No, sir.
And Chatham West, when they maintain their surveillance videos, done the normal course of business?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sure. Do you maintain your surveillance videos in the normal course of business
Yes, I do.
and in good faith?
Yes.
And again, you turned these over to law enforcement in January 2023.
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
May?
Ma'am, I'm showing you a thumb drive. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Does it have your initials on it?
Yes, it does.
Does this have the video that you reviewed that had you previously turned over to law enforcement?
Yes, it does.
The Commonwealth would seek to have the video from Chatham West on the thumb drive marked as the next exhibit.
No objection. It will be marked and admitted into evidence now as 262.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the Commonwealth publish the video from Chatham West?
You may.
Thank you. Pause. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. In the top left-hand corner, what does it say as far as a date and time?
January 3rd, 2023.
And the time?
5:11 at night.
Okay. Now, with your surveillance videos, is the time accurate or can be off?
It's accurate. Could be off by a minute or two, but it's accurate.
Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Ma'am, your videos, I noticed that it's not continuous. Is that all of your videos or how is that? Can you explain that process?
It depends on the camera. There's sometimes there's a little bit of a lag where it becomes choppy like that.
So that's not abnormal. It can happen with your surveillance sometimes.
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-exam.
No questions.
The witness may step down. Thank you, ma'am.
Step, okay?
Would now be a good time to break for the lunch.
Well, Your Honor, I think the Commonwealth's always made its opinion on lunch.
All right. Jurors, we'll take our lunch break now and we'll see you back at 2 o'clock.
Stacy, clerk, just raise your right hand for me, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you shall give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you,
Right
sir.
this way. Just do me a favor, just take your time, just watch your step. Seats,
Okay, I might have been muted. Sorry. Okay, long story short, on January 3rd, we know he went to 2 different apartments. He went to, at 4:33, he went to the Claremont apartments to throw something very heavy away. That was when he was carrying the big heavy trash bag. Then at 5:11, you see him pull into Chatham West. We see him by the dumpsters. We don't see what he's doing. The only other time that he threw something away that I know of is when he went to the Vinny liquor store on the 1st of January, and he threw something away in the dumpsters, but we really couldn't see what it was. And again, I'm not really sure about the second where he went. I got to go back through my notes, but so far he's only been to the Home Depot at 4:15. So let's continue on. Let's see what this witness has to say.
Thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes, it's Christopher Bernasconi, and the last name is Bernasconi.
Where do you work, sir?
I work for TJ Maxx.
What do you do for TJ Maxx?
I'm a district loss prevention manager for District 1102, which is Metro Boston.
And how long have you been with TJ Maxx?
30 years.
And within Metro Boston, does that include the Norwell store?
It does not.
It does not. Have you had the opportunity to review videos from the Norwell store, though?
Yes.
And have you been designated as the keeper of records for TJ Maxx for those videos?
Yes.
And have you helped produce those videos prior to coming to court today?
Yes.
Did you review them and make sure that they were that they had not been altered in any way?
Yes.
One of the videos, though, there's a person that's blurred. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
Is that done because the person wasn't 18?
That is correct.
Now, the videos that you turned over, that you helped produce from TJ Maxx, that was done in January of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
And TJ Maxx, they maintain their videos in the normal course of business,
Correct.
and they are done in good faith?
Correct.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Sir, is this the drive that you were looking at that had the videos from TJ Maxx on it?
It is.
It is for January 4th of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to have the drive of the January 4th, 2023 TJ Maxx videos of Norwell.
Any objection to that?
No objection.
And the TJ Maxx thumb drive 1/4/23 is now in evidence as Exhibit 263.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish Exhibit 263?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, can we have the first video entrance? And Ms. Gilman, if you could press pause. Sir, where is this in the Norwell store?
This is referred to as the entry public view monitor, capturing the entrance of the TJ Maxx in Norwell.
And Ms. Gilman, could you go to 1 minute and 28 seconds on the video player? And Mr. Bernasconi, at the top of the video is a label. That is, do you see that? 2003-0104? The title of the video?
Yes,
You see that?
I do.
Okay. And the time on the video, is it fair to say that's 9:44 and 24 seconds as far as the start time?
That's correct.
Sir, are there any issues with the TJ Maxx videos as far as the accuracy of their time?
They're very accurate.
If you could press play. Ms. Gilman, could we have the second video cue? And Ms. Gilman, could you go to 8 minutes and 12 seconds on the video player, media player? Gilman, we have this, and Ms. Gilman, could you go to 8 minutes and 12 seconds on the video player? Thank you, Ms. Gilman. And if you could press play. Sir, where is this in the store?
This is the public view monitor in the queue line, which is essentially the checkout area.
And Ms. Gilman, can we go to the final video for Register 4? Sir, where is this in the store?
This is above the cash register, Register 4, I believe.
Trying to look at his nose and see the mark on his nose. Kind of looks like he does, but it's so hard to tell. So it looks like he bought some pants and a belt, some socks. Not sure what's in this box here. Maybe the receipt will tell us. Why are you buying some clothes, Brian? What do you need new clothes for? What happened to your old clothes? Where your clothes at?
Thank you, Ms. Gilman. And Your Honor, may I approach one last time?
You may.
You're only supposed to be allowed to
Do
be
you
out
recognize this document?
I do.
to get your kids.
Is this a receipt for the transaction that you just showed us videos of?
It is.
The Commonwealth would seek to have the receipt from TJ Maxx for January 4th from Norwell as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection.
The receipt that corresponds to Exhibit 263 is now in evidence as 264.
And Your Honor, may the Commonwealth
Publish it, yes?
publish it? I just want to make sure I caught it to the court reporter.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Mr. Bernasconi, what is the address for this store?
It's 10 Washington Street, Norwell, Massachusetts.
And does this share a parking lot with another TJX store?
Yes, the home goods division.
And could we go all the way down to the bottom? Right there. Sir, how is this transaction conducted? Was it cash or charge?
It was a store value card used to make payment in this particular transaction.
And how much was the transaction for?
$133.94.
And going all the way down to the bottom, if we may? What was the date and time of the transaction?
January 4th, 2023 at 9:59 a.m.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
No cross.
Okay, we're going to go back. Let's see if we can go back and see. I wonder what eggplant LS is in one eggplant LS zip in box. Huh. Well, let's see. We have the power of Google. Let's see. All right. The power of Google says it is a long sleeve, like shirt or jacket. LS long sleeve shirt or jacket? Question mark? Question mark? I don't know. All right. All right. I just had to know because
Right there.
inquiring minds wanted to know. So let's zoom, zoom.
At 9.
Zoom, zoom. Okay. There was no cross. Okay, so we are at witness
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
47.
The Commonwealth would call Alyssa Kirby.
Oh. This is Anna's friend. I wondered when they were going to get to her.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in the cause now and hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You can be seated.
You just follow me, please, okay? Take your time, just watch your step. You can have a seat. Just pull that chair a little tight.
Okay,
You may proceed.
thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you
She
please
has
state
tissues
your
and they
full
have
name for the
tissues for her.
record
Oh
and
boy.
spell your name?
Yes, Alyssa Kirby, ALISSA KIRB as in boy, Y.
And where were you living in December of 2022?
I was living in Chevy Chase, Washington, D.C.
And were you familiar with Anna and Brian Walsh?
Yes.
And how were you familiar with the Walshes?
We were friends. I was introduced through my brother and sister-in-law,
And what's your brother's name?
Peter Kirby.
And so how would you characterize your relationship with Anna Walsh?
Yeah. Anna and I quickly became really close friends. And yeah, we were new best friends, we called it. And we spent a lot of time together. We just kind of clicked like sisters.
And when did you become so close?
Shortly after she moved to Washington, D.C. and lived nearby.
So you said she lived nearby?
Yes.
Can you tell us how far she lived from you?
About 5 minutes around the corner, 5-minute walk.
And how often would you see her when you, once she moved to Washington, D.C.?
I would say we planned to try to see each other about once a week. It wasn't always that, but about that.
And how often would you communicate with her?
Similarly, about once a week, or when she would come back to DC, we'd talk about when we could meet up and hang out.
And did you know Will Fastow?
I knew of him, yes.
And how did you know of Will Fastow?
Shortly after I started spending more time with Anna, she would talk to me about him as the man who sold her house, but then her interest in him and just hearing a lot about him as a person.
And what did she tell you about him?
She told me of that that she was interested in him, that she had a crush on him, but it was a lot more talk about their connection and like, I guess what she wanted to have happen with him and her, I guess just her interest.
And what did she tell you about telling Brian Walsh about this crush on Will Fastow?
She told me that she was open with Brian about her crush on Will and that he knew.
What? 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 I'm sorry? Say that again? He knew that she had a crush on him? What?
In Christmas of 2022, did you have communication with Brian Walsh on that day?
Yes.
And how did that happen?
Brian called me that day, and because he rarely or almost never called me, I answered. And he was looking for Anna because he said he hadn't heard from her. And so, because she lived around the corner, I offered to go over there and check on her.
And what happened? Did you go over and check on her?
As I was getting ready to go, he had messaged me back that he had gotten in touch with her.
So when you say that you had talked to him first and offered to check on her, did you do that in text, on the phone, or something else?
I believe that first time was a phone call, and then later it was a text message.
And do you remember what time of day that phone call was?
Not exactly, but maybe I feel like it was noon or early afternoon.
Okay. And what was his demeanor when you spoke to him on the phone?
That day, I think he was worried or a little bit nervous.
And approximately how long was it after you had spoken to him that he texted you?
I think it was within like 10 minutes because I was getting ready to go, and it was fast enough that I hadn't left yet.
And did you speak with Anna Walsh that day on Christmas Day?
Yes.
And when did you speak with Anna Walsh that day?
It was late, much later that day in the afternoon. I was already with family for the holiday, and she called me as she was driving up to Massachusetts.
And what was her demeanor when she called you?
She was very upset.
And when you say very upset, can you describe that?
Yeah, she was angry, and she was upset that Brian would have called me that day because, she said that she'd only not spoken to him for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, that it really hadn't been that long. And, there was already some strife, and then she had.
Sustained, non-responsive. So I'll strike the last part. Ask the next question.
Certainly. So how long did you speak with her for that day?
Maybe like 20 minutes.
And did you arrange to see her again?
Yes.
And when did you plan to see Anna Walsh?
I can't remember exactly when we planned it, but I know we had planned a day to get together right before New Year's to kind of see each other, hang out, catch up, and like celebrate like a New Year's together.
And did you see her to have that celebration?
Yes.
And what day was that you saw her to have that celebration?
I believe it was the 29th.
And that was the 29th of what month?
Oh, December.
Of 2022.
Correct.
And where did you go?
We went a few places. We started at the bar that was across from where we lived that we'd been to a few times. And then we later went out to a karaoke dancing bar.
And how long did you stay out that night?
Like 6 hours.
So what was her demeanor that night?
So that night, because of what happened after Christmas, she was really upset. She was kind of breaking down because everything had been really hard, which Anna was always a very strong person, so that was very unusual for her. And she was just really upset about so much. She really hit a breaking point. And yeah, we talked about a lot of things because she was so upset.
Ms. Kirby, can you tell me what she was upset about?
She was primarily upset about her and Brian's relationship, about being so far away from the kids, and feeling like she was upset having found out that the federal case was delayed, or she thought that the federal case was delayed by Brian, and that she just really wanted to be with her kids. Their marriage had been really strained for a long time, and she was she told me how like upset she was and how frustrating that was, and how she was really at a breaking point.
Jurors, I'm going to remind you that the statements that are being offered with regard to Anna Walsh's state of mind are admissible, again, limited to establishing her state of mind, as is relevant to the defendant's motive to kill. To the extent that such state of mind evidence includes statements describing the defendant's federal case, Anna's statements are admitted only to show the defendant's motive and not to show that he had a bad character or propensity to commit any criminal offense. You may proceed.
Thank you. Had you seen her like this before?
No. Anna was usually someone very, very happy, very joyful, very strong.
Okay, no characterizations, just your observations. Next question.
When talking, did she use specific words about what she had said to the defendant, which she had said to Brian Walsh, about the legal case?
What she told me about that was that she was upset because she wanted him to take responsibility. She wanted their family together. She wanted that whole process to be over, and she wanted him to be responsible, be accountable, and do whatever he had to do to keep their family together.
And what did she mean? What did she tell you that she meant by the word responsibility?
Yeah, at that point in time, responsibility was potentially just taking jail time and admitting wrongdoing and just owning a mistake, and so that their family, that she would be waiting for them and that their family could be together.
Did she give you specifics of what she had told you about the amount of time?
I think it was all an estimate, but at the time she thought maybe a year.
What did she tell you about the physical separation and her family staying together?
I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask that well. What did she tell you about being in different states and what that physical separation might mean?
Yeah, that it was really difficult for the family, but that also, because of how difficult things were, she was contemplating what that could mean legally being able to take her children to Washington, D.C., and also the physical separation from a husband was very difficult for her.
What, if anything, did she tell you about having established a separate household?
Oh, that she had told me that everything was set up in her name, the house in Washington, D.C., and the bills were, everything was in her name. So she was trying to figure out a way that she could have the kids with her in D.C.
What, if anything, did she tell you about her intimate relationship with Brian Walsh?
She told me that, aside from everything being really difficult, that they had not been intimate in a really long time, like maybe over a year, I think she had said.
And what did she tell you as to why?
She said it was because that Brian had been really depressed and that the strain of the case had really just taken a toll on his mental health and their marriage, and that she felt also that that her energy was being really drained. Yeah.
Was she specific about what she meant by her energy being drained?
Yeah, at that time, she was saying that Brian was calling her several times a day, that she felt physically and emotionally exhausted traveling back and forth from DC to Massachusetts. It was just a lot on her body, mind, soul, and spirit. And that, that also just like emotionally feeling like she had to be the strong one was very draining for her.
What did she tell you about Brian and his mother?
She had always said that.
I'll see you at the side of the bench.
Okay, so when it involves like another person, that is like hearsay on top of hearsay. So they're getting into the hearsay. Like if Brian said his mom said something, that's like it's like the telephone game. You can't do that. So we'll see if they can get closer. She can build something closer to that.
December 20. Ms. Kirby, in this conversation on December 29th, what did she tell you about Brian and his mother and a psychic?
There we
She
go.
told me that Brian had told her that his mom went to a psychic and that the psychic had said that she was having an affair. And that night she told me how ridiculous that was and how like she was very upset by that. And she'd always felt that Brian's mom didn't like her, and that it was scary.
Well, it was true.
Did she say why?
Who's that psychic?
Why that was scary?
Yeah, I think because she always.
Reaction as to, I think.
Yes,
Yep.
sustained.
Did she say why? Not your opinion, just did she say why in that conversation?
Yes, what she said as to why was that she felt like his mom never really liked her and never like wanted her in the picture, basically.
Oh boy. All right. So he knew about the affair,
Your
right?
Honor, at this time, I'd ask to
At least from the
publish
psychic.
from one picture from Exhibit 145 on page 39.
It's already in evidence.
It is already in evidence,
You may publish.
just the picture.
You may publish it.
Thank you.
Okay, so we see a picture. I wonder if it's the picture of her on the plane with her jewelry. That's my guess. She's going to lose it. Reasonably so. Her dear friend passed away. It's very sad. Sad, 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 sad,
Ms.
sad.
Kirby, do you recognize that picture?
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
Can you tell me who's that a picture of?
Picture of me and Anna.
And when was that picture taken?
Her and Anna.
That night we went out on the 29th.
I'm sorry, did you say that was the night from the 29th? That was during that night of December 29th. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. You can take that down.
Ugh.
Did you see
Ugh.
Anna Walsh after the evening of December 29th into December 30th, because you said you were out late,
No.
of 2022?
No.
And when did, if you know, when did she leave for Massachusetts?
She left that next day on the 30th.
And when did you expect her to return to Washington, D.C.?
I think she had said like the third or fourth. It was a few days after New Year's. She was planning to come back.
Of January?
Correct.
Okay. And when was the last time that you communicated with Anna Walsh?
Right after midnight on New Year's Day.
And after that exchange with Anna Walsh on New Year's Day, right after midnight, did you get texts from Brian Walsh?
Yes, on the 2nd.
Your Honor, I'd ask to get an exhibit and then approach.
You may.
I'm approaching with exhibit 164.
164?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
You want to just look at that for a moment? Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And you can look through it all.
Okay.
Are we going to see them? Question mark. But Mr. Fastyles, we didn't get to see, so I'm assuming we're not going to see these either. But maybe we will. Maybe she's going to talk about them.
Okay.
And what are those?
Text messages between me and Brian.
Oh, her and Brian.
Your Honor, may we publish exhibit 164 for the jury?
Okay.
You may.
Thank you. So I'd specifically like to ask about on January 3rd, if we could go down. Can you read on page 2, can you read that in green?
Yes. It says, hello, I know we did this a week ago, but have you heard from Anna?
And how did you respond to that?
I said, hey, Brian, sorry for the delay. Was sleeping. I have the flu and I'm super sick. I texted with Anna on New Year's Day, but no, haven't heard from her. Is she working today? She's usually running around super busy with work.
And when did you send that?
It looks like on January 3rd at 12:51 p.m.
And then did Mr. Walsh respond to you?
He said, you're right. I'll let you know when she calls. Feel better soon.
And then did you contact him later?
After that, I said, thank you. Yeah, and then the next morning, I was sick, so I slept the whole day. And the next morning, when I realized I hadn't heard back, I texted him, did you ever hear back?
And then what happened?
And then he said, no, work now. And that's when I
All right. Sorry. Some family interruptions, but we are going to go ahead and start this. I'm going to back up just a smidge so that, oh, you can't see me. Hello, here I am. Hi. Hi, everybody. Had some family emergencies coming up today, so had to stop and start, but here we are. No more interruptions, right? So I'm going to start this back up. We're going to back up just a smidge, and hopefully we will get through all of this with smooth sailing. All right, here we go.
Got
1, 2.
day the next morning. Yeah, and then the next morning I was sick, so I slept the whole day. And the next morning when I realized I hadn't heard back, I texted him, "Did you ever hear back?"
And then what happened?
And then he said, "No, they're looking for work now." And that's when I got really scared that something was wrong.
So what did you do after hearing that?
After that, I called my brother and I asked if he had heard from her and was explaining the situation.
Well, we can stop the publication. I'm sorry.
Sustained.
So just tell me what you did. What did you do?
Oh, after the text message, I called my brother and
That's fine. That's
Okay.
all. And then what did you do after calling your brother? Did you speak with Brian Walsh at some point on the phone?
I did, but I don't remember if it was later that day or the next day on the
Okay.
phone.
And who was on the phone with Brian Walsh?
There were some calls that was just me and Brian, and there was one call with Brian and his mother.
And what was the call with Brian and his mother like?
Well, his mother was pretty combative. I think she sounded.
You approach sidebar? Yes.
Huh. Is that going to come in? She was the party to the phone call, so why wouldn't that be let in? Long sidebar. Uh-oh, spinny wheel. Okay. All right.
Going back for just a moment on the 29th, did Anna ever tell you how Brian reacted to his mother saying, the psychic saying that she was having an affair?
Yeah, she told me that he thought it was equally as crazy, or that was what he said to her.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
All right.
Swap out one and give you another. Recognize that.
Yes.
Can you tell me what?
Just stay on the microphone so we can hear you.
Sorry.
Picture of
Can
a
you tell me
jacket.
how you recognize that jacket?
As Anna's jacket, one that she wore.
Your Honor, I'd ask that this be the next exhibit.
All right, any objection to that?
None, thank you.
Jurors, that'll be marked into an evidence as Exhibit 264, photo of Anna. The jurors, the face of Anna Walsh is blurred out for that photo, but there's no dispute that that is a photo of her in the jacket, in a jacket.
The jacket. Oh, thank goodness Judge Vernier corrected herself.
Thank you.
A jacket, but it is
265?
the jacket,
Oh, yes.
right?
Thank you.
265.
265, yes.
And I'd ask that this be published to the jury.
You may.
Oh. Well, there you have it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cross?
Oh. Okay, we are going to cross. Woohoo!
Good afternoon, Ms. Kirby.
Good afternoon.
Oh, she's
It
very
sounds like
nice.
You and Anna got very close very fast.
Yes.
When she was down there, you guys would try to see each other about once a week?
Yeah.
Okay. And while she was down there, she was working for Tishman Speyer.
Yes.
And obviously you would text or talk on the phone sometimes during the week
Yes.
and sometimes go for coffee walks around the neighborhoods.
Not coffee, but often walks or we would meet up. Yeah.
I'm imposing my own desire in that. Okay.
Okay.
And her work schedule was pretty demanding while she was down in DC.
Yes.
And it wasn't uncommon that she would work until 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that was what she would tell me. Yes.
Okay. And then on top of that, she was flying back and forth to Boston on Thursdays or Fridays and returning on Sunday nights or Mondays.
Yeah, often Mondays and then returning Thursday or Friday.
Okay. I want to talk to you a little bit about that Christmas Day phone call from Mr. Walsh.
Okay.
You had mentioned that it was not common or out of the ordinary for him to have called you.
Yes.
Okay. And I think you described him on that call as nervous and worried, right?
Yes.
And this was Christmas Day?
Yes.
And I think you told us it was about noon or a little bit past noon when he had reached out to you?
Mhm.
And what he said is that he and the boys were expecting her home for Christmas and he hadn't heard from her.
What I recall he said was just ask me if I had heard from her because he hadn't heard from her.
Okay. And because of that nervousness or worry in his voice, you actually offered to go swing by her house to see if she was there.
Yeah, I thought that she was already back home for Christmas. And so that worried me. So I offered to go over.
Okay. And I think you said within 10 or 15 minutes, he actually reached out to be like, we're good. She reached out to me. She's okay.
He said he had heard from her.
Okay. You had told us that you had also spoken to Anna on the 25th on the telephone,
Yes.
and you were telling us that she was angry and upset that Mr. Walsh had called you.
Yes. She was angry that, you know, he had bothered me that day with that because she felt it had not been that long since they had spoken.
Okay. So it was Christmas Day and she was upset that he bothered you on a holiday
Mhm.
and that he worried you.
Mhm.
You had mentioned that Anna had a friend named William Fastow.
Yes.
Okay. And I think you told us that she shared with you that she had a crush on him.
Yes.
And she told you that she told her husband that she had a crush on him.
Yes.
And that Anna, when she was talking about sharing that with her husband, that they always had an open, honest relationship.
Yes. That's what she said.
Okay. And in that conversation, when she was telling you about how she had told her husband about having a crush on Will, that Brian wasn't the jealous type.
When she told me that, I was surprised, and she said that was their relationship. They were open, and that he wasn't jealous.
And not only was he not jealous, that she kind of wished he was a little more jealous.
I think in the way that a wife would want a husband to be protective. Yes.
Okay. And during the time you were friends in DC with Anna, and during these conversations, she never told you that she was having a romantic relationship with Will Fastow.
Not specifically, no. We talked a lot about Will, but not that anything had ever actually happened.
Okay. So you believe that they had a connection and she had a crush, but she never told you that they had been romantic or intimate.
Correct.
I think you had said that during this conversation on the 29th, Anna had said that lately,
I went to go pause. Okay, so that is interesting that she had a conversation with her about William Fausto. Maybe like she had a crush on him and she liked him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that she never said anything actually physically happened between the two of them. But we know that they did go to Dublin together. So, and that was Thanksgiving that they went to Dublin together. I don't know about you, but I have never been on a vacation or another location with somebody, especially out of the country, that I wasn't in a relationship with. So You go as just as friends? Are you going for a business relationship, even though that you don't really have a business relationship, but you kind of do? I don't know. So I like, do you know if she went, but maybe they can't get that in. They can only get in this time frame. And that Brian wasn't a jealous person. So that is very good for the defense because if by chance she did say to him that she, in that night, in that heat of passion moment, that she was having an affair with William Fastow, he wasn't the jealous type. So he wouldn't have done anything if he found out, right? Question mark. Again, we don't know. Pure speculation. Let's continue. Oops, maybe not.
She was.
Next
I think
question.
you had said that during this conversation on the 29th, Anna had said that lately she was just feeling drained of energy, right?
I knew they were going to pick up
Drain of
on this.
energy just due to everything going on. Yeah.
Okay. And she had also told you that she was someone that would stay up late and get up early in the morning, right?
I think she kept a busy schedule, not that she specifically always stayed up late and got up early, but that, she was doing on. She just was a very energetic, passionate person.
And towards the end of December, there was a shift. There was a change in that.
Yes.
And she told you that she was falling asleep earlier and getting up later, and that was unusual for her.
Yeah, that she was really just starting to be sad and everything was taking a toll on her. Yeah.
Okay. And it was when she was reporting this to you, she was talking about how even sleep, that she was falling asleep earlier, falling asleep earlier in the night. She was sleeping later in the morning than she usually would.
I don't recall that exactly, just that she said that she felt so tired and burnt out.
Okay. You had mentioned that you had plans to get together on 12/29, but you also had plans to go out on December 20th, the week before.
I don't think I remember that exactly.
Okay.
But we often would try to make plans and then things would shuffle. So,
Okay. The plans I'm talking about on the 20th, she had canceled because she wasn't feeling well.
right. Yes.
Okay. You shared with us during that long night out with Anna that the two of you were talking a lot about how it was difficult that she was away from her family. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I apologize. And she told you that she said to Brian, you need to resolve this. Even if you go to jail, we'll be here for you when you get out.
She didn't specifically say like this, then this. It was more like a conversation about taking responsibility, accountability, what that would mean, that could mean just owning it and taking the jail time if that was because the sentencing hadn't happened. So we didn't know exactly what it would be, but that was something she wanted for him to take care of their family in that way and just take responsibility,
Okay.
have it be done.
And I think you told us earlier on direct that she said to him, we'll be there even if that happens, meaning her
That's
and the
what
boys.
you said. That's what she said.
And I don't think she said that directly. It was more like communicating to me that she wanted their family to be together, even if that meant
Okay.
jail time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they were still figuring out like what to do. They had been living apart and she wasn't sure what would happen.
And so what you're telling us is that she wanted her family together.
Mhm.
And that she wanted him to do whatever it took so that her and Brian and the boys could be together.
Yeah.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any
That was
redirect?
great. That was great.
Ms. Kirby, did she want her family together?
Objection, Your Honor.
She stated it, she can answer it. So rephrase the question.
On December 29th, did she tell you, did she want her family together?
I think
Objection, Your Honor.
All right, listen to the question, answer the question if you can.
On December 29th, what did she tell you about if she wanted her family together?
She said that she wanted her family together. She also was exhausted and not really sure what to do, but I think she
Objection
wanted
to
her.
order As to, I think, all right. Sustained.
On December 29th, what did she tell you about if she loved the defendant, Brian Walsh?
She told me that he would often not tell her he loved her and would always ask her how much she was in love with him. And that she told me that this time she answered not as much because of everything that had happened. And yeah, that she was falling out of love, and also that she wanted, I think she saw.
Objection, Your Honor. As
Yep.
I think she saw. I know it's a long time ago, but it has to be the statement she made to you, not what you think
Okay.
or what you understood from it. It's statements that she made to you.
Okay. Sorry.
And on December 29th of 2022, how did she physically appear to you?
Tired.
And on December 29th of 2022, did you go out to karaoke?
Yes.
And did she go dancing?
Yeah, it was karaoke dancing.
Thank you.
Any recross?
I would
Thank you.
talk about the
The witness may
Oh.
step down. Thank you.
no recross. So, okay, so there's I have a small issue with that, is that when you're going to redirect, you are clarifying questions that might have been answered in the cross, but that you're really not supposed to bring up new questions that you didn't have in your direct. And she kind of didn't ask her a new question, but she brought up a new topic, which was the love thing. We hadn't heard about that before. And so I'm like a little confused about that, how that kind of got in and why when it came to recross, she didn't ask about that, but maybe they don't want to know that answer, or they don't want to expand upon that. Could be. All right, let's see. We only have about 30 some minutes left. So let's see what they're going to do next.
Also, counsel at the side of the bench.
Yeah, what's going to happen next? We are then, if they continue, that was very hard. That was, Alyssa Kirby's was very, very, very hard. Feel so bad for her. Really, really do. It was witness 47. So we have Zoom room. Poor Alyssa. Oh. I mean, you never ever want to be in a situation, but crap happens. It really does. It's terrible. All right, they are chatting away. I'm gonna hit the. Oh,
To you now, and this is a stipulation, again, an agreement of the parties.
okay.
Simply
Here we go.
agreement of the parties.
Stipulation from the parties.
Federal prosecution of Brian Walsh. Brian Walsh was arraigned in the United States District Court for the District of Massachusetts in Boston, Massachusetts on May 11, 2018. On April 1st, 2021, Brian Walsh pled guilty to indictments for wire fraud, interstate transportation for a scheme to defraud, and conducting an unlawful monetary transaction. On October 6, 2021, an initial sentencing hearing took place in the United States District Court. Brian Walsh was seeking a sentence of probation and restitution, while the government, through the United States Attorney's Office, was seeking a sentence which included incarceration of 30 to 37 months, restitution in the amount of approximately $475,000. January 2023, Brian Walsh had not been sentenced on the federal charges. Brian Walsh was represented by a lawyer in all stages of this federal case. Commonwealth will call the next witness.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth rests.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
With that, jurors, I told
okay. So the Commonwealth rests. All right. Wow. Okay. So that's what we thought. So today is Wednesday. The Commonwealth rests. So tomorrow is the defense. Ooh. Will Brian Walsh take the stand? Okay. We'll talk about it here in just a second. Let's see what the judge has to say.
That this case proceeds in chapter. That chapter of this case is closed. That is, the Commonwealth has presented all the evidence.
Oh, sorry.
Present in this case.
Shoot.
As I've told you from the beginning, there is no obligation, no burden on the defendant to do anything. And so I remind you of that. The burden does not rest with the defendant. All the burden of proof is always on the Commonwealth, and it stays always on the Commonwealth. The defendant has the option to present evidence if he wishes to. I'm going to suspend the hearings for today, and we'll see you back tomorrow at 9 o'clock, ready to begin the day. Thank you very much. And before we leave, I remind you, don't do any research about this case. Don't go on social media or any news media. Don't speak to anyone about this case, and continue to have open minds as you receive the evidence in this trial. Have a good night, jurors.
Is there anything all right first? Please leave your notebooks in the chair.
All right. Jurors out. Let's see if they put anything on the record. We have about 30 minutes.
What do we need to discuss?
I love her. I love her. What do we need to discuss?
Probably need to discuss, and that would move for required finding and not guilty.
Go right ahead.
And,
I can't hear him.
she can share.
Give me a second to read your pleading.
I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is?
All right, I'll hear from you.
For the most part, Judge, I'm just going to rely on that pleading, but what's important in this case, for purposes of arguing the Lattimore standard and the required finding, is that in the facts and circumstances of this case, even if you consider all of the evidence in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth, that the circumstantial evidence and the inferences have not been proven on the elements of premeditation and intent. And it's important to distinguish the fact that where inferences can be reasonable when they have to do with other factual issues that do not constitute the specific elements of the crime charged, here, the inference must be beyond a reasonable doubt because it must support the element of premeditated murder, and it must support the specific intent to kill. And whereas the Commonwealth has based their whole prosecution on what we characterize as a three-pronged approach, that motive evidence that they theorize supports an inference of intent and premeditation, they have failed to present the type of quantity and quality of evidence that would then result in an inference beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Walsh ever premeditated a murder or ever manifested the specific intent to kill. The three-prong approach that the Commonwealth took in this case was that Mr. Walsh was motivated by financial interest, which has not been established, by any inference sufficient to carry the day, even on the Lattimore standard. The second prong is that somehow Mr. Walsh was using his children and his role as primary care provider to avoid going to prison. And that has not been established by any sufficient evidence. And then there's the third prong, and it has to do with the affair. And where it seems clear that the Commonwealth has established that Anna Walsh did in fact engage in an intimate affair with William Fastow, they have failed to establish sufficiently to withstand a Lattimore standard that he even knew about the affair. In fact, if you consider the evidence in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth from their own witnesses, there is no evidence presented to this jury that he knew about the affair, that he reacted to any knowledge of the affair. And in fact, the reaction that he had fell far short of someone that was even jealous of the fact that Miss Walsh reported to him specifically that she had a crush on Mr. Fastow. And I understand, we understand that whereas motive is not an element, that's not what we're arguing. And I say in our motion that if the government stands up and says, since motive is not an element, that the argument that we just made doesn't apply. Well, that misses the point, because that is the whole foundation of their prosecution in this case. And so respectfully, Judge, in the unusual circumstances and the complex circumstances presented in this case, I would ask that a required finding be entered on indictment 001.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank you, Your Honor. Viewed in the light most
Oh.
favorable to the Commonwealth, the evidence is sufficient for a jury to find the defendant guilty of the premeditated murder of Anna Walsh. Your Honor, as to evidence that the defendant killed Anna Walsh, the defendant was the only adult in the house on January 1st after Mr. Mutlu left. There's evidence before the court that Anna was a fit and active 39-year-old, and in fact that she participated in a vigorous exercise class at Bar Method on the 31st of December, where she demonstrated that she was in good physical condition. Evidence of the bloody slippers, bloody bath towels, bloody carpet, on his broken Gucci necklace, combined with the defendant's internet searches about cleaning blood from wood floors, his purchase of large quantities of cleaning products, are sufficient for the jury to find that Anna met a violent death in the living quarters of 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway. I'd also point out there was a cut on the defendant's thumb, and there was evidence that he did purchase Band-Aids and some antibiotic cream on January 1st. As to deliberate premeditations, there's evidence that the defendant was aware of Anna's relationship with another man. He told police that he monitored the Chase credit card statement. That is an evidence before the court. That statement includes a purchase of a plane ticket to Dublin in Thanksgiving, over the Thanksgiving holiday in 2022. The defendant was aware of Anna's itinerary. He told police that he had suggested that she go out during a layover in Frankfurt, which she did have a layover in Frankfurt at one point of that travel.
But that wasn't brought up.
And again, looking at that travel, it's clear that looking at the Chase statement that it was indicated a trip to Dublin. The defendant told police that she had only gone to Serbia to see her mother. And I suggest the evidence is more than sufficient to find that he was aware of that trip to Dublin. He also searched Will Fastow's name on December 25th. And he also researched emergencies in buildings that Anna managed in DC. I'd also point out that the defendant's phone, which he said was mislaid from December 31st to January 2nd, he told Mr. Mutlu that when Mr. Mutlu came for the New Year's Eve dinner. That phone was repeatedly unlocked and connected to a power source while it was supposedly missing. The evidence indicates that the defendant used that phone to create an alibi for himself. It explains why he was not contacting Anna. And then when he did say he recovered the phone, he started sending text messages to Anna, and he later showed those messages to police. It suggests he was using the missing phone as a way to create an alibi for himself.
I don't know if I buy that.
And to explain why there was he didn't have the phone with him when he went to Vin and Liquors and threw something into the dumpster, or when he was in Lowe's buying cleaning supplies and cutting tools on January 1st. Your Honor, there's also ample evidence of motive. There's evidence that the jury can find that if Anna took the children to DC, the possibility of the defendant avoiding jail time on the federal charges would lessen. We heard testimony today about the impact of that on Anna and what she intended to do. Anna also had life insurance policies and financial accounts, which the defendant was the named beneficiary, and he stood to inherit substantial funds if Anna Walsh were deceased. And also, Your Honor, the defendant's elaborate web of lies regarding Anna allegedly leaving for a work emergency in DC. He lied to friends, family, and the police about that. I suggest that that also is sufficient evidence to give this case to the jury, and would ask that you deny that motion for required finding of not guilty.
All right. The Latimer standard dictates that I take every inference, all the evidence and all the reasonable inferences from that evidence in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth. Adopting that standard, I'm not convinced by the defendant's motion.
Right.
I'm not going to repeat the evidence that the Commonwealth has just, in brief, summarized for the court. That evidence that this jury has heard and seen is adequate to allow the jury to deliberate the case, in that, again, drawing all the inferences, reasonable inferences from the evidence that's before this jury, there is sufficient evidence for this case to go to the jury for them to determine the three elements that are before them. But it gets over the Latimer standard. So the defendant's motion is denied.
We would just object to the record.
I understand.
Denied. Okay.
You indicated to me at the side of the bench there were some evidentiary issues you wanted to address with me.
There are. Can we go to the sidebar for these, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
So I'm just, okay. So pretty much standard when the Commonwealth closes their case, it's pretty standard for the defense to get up there and say, listen, they didn't present all the evidence. There's nothing to see here. It shouldn't go to the jury. They didn't present all of the things for you, judge. So there's no reason for it to go to the jury. And I believe that's Tracy. Tracy got up and said, oh, Your Honor, there is. And I listed, there's at least 15. There might be 16, but she talks so fast. 16 elements that they said, hey, if it wasn't this, it was this. It wasn't this, it was this. And it wasn't this, it was this. It was this and this and this. So, and remember, it is the light most favorable to the Commonwealth. So, and typically judges favor the Commonwealth in that standard. And, you know, I Tipton made some really good points, but the Commonwealth made some better points. And so the scales tipped in the Commonwealth's favor. So that is denied. We still move forward. Does the defense wish to put on a presentation? Sounds like they do, because they're up there discussing some evidentiary issues that they may bring in. And so we'll see how this goes. See if we can zoom, see if they put anything else on the record. I was a little bit nervous there. Were you nervous there? She's going to be like, yep, we're done. And like, wait, you just spent a minimum of 10 days with this jury, given the evidence. I do wonder if there have ever been a case that they were like, yeah, you're right, they didn't put on the evidence. I'm sure there is. Maybe maybe like in smaller scale things. They did that in the Karen Reed case. I know that they did. I remember the hearing on it. But Judge Cannone they heard it like in between. And she's like, nope, let's move on. And she's like, nope, I heard what you said. We're moving on. All right. This is going slower than I anticipate. So let's just see. Snail's pace, snail pace. Oh, okay. Okay, here we're back. See if there's anything going on.
All right. So I think we all have our tasks for the evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Anybody need anything? All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Court is done for the day. Oh, I didn't put you back. I'm sorry. It's all me. It's all me. It's all me. Wow, what a day. Great job, Commonwealth. You did a lot today. Wow. All right. So, at the end here of today, lots and lots and lots going on. Mr. Mutlu was the start of our day, right? So, Mr. Mutlu on day 8, the end of day 8, or day 8 in general, right? Mr. Mutlu testified, and he had a lot to say about Anna and their conversation on the 29th, a little bit about Mr. Fastow. Then the probation officer, wow, that was really telling. She said that he had times where he needed to converse with her where he was going, etc., if he had anything extraordinary going on, and that if it wasn't out of a necessity, he couldn't go. He certainly shouldn't be going to a restaurant on the New Year's Eve with his wife, but he did go ahead and say he needed help his mommy. So he would have been out with Anna if something didn't happen to her, right? All right, then we have Alyssa Kirby and or another purchase at TJ Maxx and another dumpster dump. And then Alyssa Kirby basically said that Brian had a crush, that Brian knew that Anna had a crush on Mr. Fastow. But to the defense's credit, she said that Anna was tired and Anna was sleeping and getting up late, and that can kind of work in their favor. The thing about the mom and the psychic, that was interesting. So, all right, that is the end of the Commonwealth's case in the Massachusetts versus Brian Walsh. Commonwealth rests. Tomorrow, the defense takes their turn. So let's see you back tomorrow and see what we find. Have a good night. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Legalese 1, 2, 3. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe for more content.